This is Plant-Based Briefing. The LiverKing wrong about his carnivore diet. Just don't tell his supplement customers. By Charlotte Pointing at vegnews.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, host of this curated content plant-based podcast, where I narrate a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And I'm pleased to have permission from Veg News to share their amazing content. And definitely check out their website if you haven't. They have a gazillion resources for vegan living. Even just under their travel menu, they have Veg News Vacations, which are vegan organized trips. They have city guides, restaurant reviews, all kinds of great information. So check out their website. And now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. The LiverKing wrong about carnivore diet. Just don't tell his supplement customers. By Charlotte Pointing at vegnews.com. The LiverKing says he was wrong about the carnivore diet, but his brand and his supplement empire still promote this same primal message. In the Netflix documentary Untold, The LiverKing, Brian Johnson, aka The LiverKing, makes a handful of points that are hard to argue with. Chief among them is the idea that ultra-processed foods, or UPFs, are harming our health. And science backs him up. UPFs have been linked to at least 32 chronic diseases, prompting experts to recommend reducing our intake for better health. Johnson's diet certainly qualifies as unprocessed. The problem? Instead of turning to nutrient-dense plant-based whole foods, Johnson has historically promoted the carnivore diet, living off of foods like raw liver, bull testicles, and fertilized eggs. Unprocessed? Yes. But healthy? Many nutrition experts would say absolutely not. As Healthline expert Lizzie Streit, MS-RDN LD puts it, no controlled studies support claims that the carnivore diet can help eliminate health issues. It lacks beneficial nutrients, including fiber and plant compounds like antioxidants. According to Johnson, our ancestors followed a meat-heavy diet, so it makes sense, he argues, that it's best for us too. But there are a few flaws in that logic. Is LiverKing's ancestral diet accurate? Firstly, we evolved to cook meat, unlike what you see Johnson and his family doing in the Netflix documentary, where they often eat meat raw, sometimes straight from the carcass. The ability for humans to cook meat is what some biological anthropologists say is the reason our brains developed to become much larger. Felicia Wu, PhD, a professor in food safety, toxicology, and risk assessment at Michigan State University, told Very Well Health, "It takes a lot of work to chew and digest raw meat compared with cooked meat. To dispense calories that way in prehistoric times was a disadvantage to humans." However, research also suggests that early humans didn't eat as much meat as commonly believed. While they likely consumed some, mostly by scavenging rather than hunting, the bulk of their diet came from gathered foods like flowers, fruits, seeds, and tubers. Johnson himself knows that a diet that incorporates plants is good for our health. At the end of the Netflix documentary released last month, you see him eating freshly picked, homegrown strawberries. He also acknowledges that he has started eating plants again and feels better than ever. He declares, "Vegetables and testicles, I can have all of it." Johnson, who was outed as a fraud for lying about taking steroids, also says he was wrong about the carnivore style of eating. "I don't know shit," he says, and yet the LiverKing brand persists. "Liver still is king," Johnson said on Instagram after the documentary was released. He adds, "We eat nose to tail every day." He continues to explain that he and his family have rebranded, and he still stands by the ancestral tenets, noting that they don't cost anything to follow. LiverKing's supplement brand isn't slowing down. That's mostly true. Most of Johnson's set of ancestral tenets, which cover things like getting good sleep, regular movement, connection with the earth and community, don't cost anything to achieve, but they are inherently tied to his brand, Ancestral Supplements, which has helped him achieve a self-reported net worth of $310 million. At the time of writing, a jar of Ancestral Supplements grass-fed beef organs will set you back just shy of $50. Under the tenet Eat, listed on the Ancestral Supplement website, the description reads, "Our bodies crave nutrient-dense foods like animal organs, but these can be hard to find and consume. We suggest the convenience of our high-quality supplements and choosing whole foods rather than processed foods. Eat like your life depends on it." Under Shield, the description reads, "In the modern world, your body is constantly under attack by viruses, processed foods, seed oils, EMFs, negative energy, etc. It is important to boost your immune system with ancestral supplements." There is no research to suggest that seed oils are attacking our bodies. Scientists have also confirmed that electric and magnetic fields, or EMFs, are unlikely to cause us harm. As for negative energy, that's not a medical diagnosis, it's a buzzword. And while some ultra-processed foods are undeniably bad for us, grouping all processed ingredients into one toxic category oversimplifies a complex picture. Like many wellness influencers, Johnson leans heavily on fear-based language to sell a lifestyle and, more importantly, supplements. The implication is clear. The modern world is toxic, your body is under constant attack, and only ancestral eating and Johnson's products can help you. But Johnson is not alone. In the same month that LiverKing's Netflix special was released, a study by the Freedom Food Alliance and the Rooted Research Collective warned that nearly 90% of influencers pushing extreme diets on social media do not have medical training. Superspreader influencers exploit confusion by offering dangerously simple answers dressed up as hacks, often driven by profit, not science, Alice Milbank, co-founder and chief scientific officer at Rooted Research, said in a statement. But like Johnson, who was exposed as a scam artist and now supplements his own diet with plant-based foods, influencers may be aware of the confusion they're causing with their misinformation. That's the paradox at the heart of wellness influencer culture. Moderation doesn't go viral, but raw liver does. You just listened to The LiverKing Wrong About Carnivore Diet, Just Don't Tell His Supplement Customers by Charlotte Pointing at vegnews.com, and I'm your host, Marian Erickson. And it's frustrating that there are people out there, so many of them, who are influencers and peddling a message, peddling products and lifestyles that are literally killing people for their own profit. And so many people don't have the time to look into things like this. They just literally believe people who have a big following, as opposed to someone like Michael Greger at Nutrition Facts. I have a relative who will not listen to anything that I share from nutritionfacts.org because she says, oh, he's completely biased. But he is literally sharing the science and just the science. He is not making a profit on his books. He's not selling supplements. He's not trying to sell anything. He's just trying to share the science. In fact, 100% of all proceeds from his books, his speaking engagements, his DVDs, are all donated to charity, but he's not profiting off of peddling things like supplements. He jokes that there's not a lot of money to be made off of pushing eating broccoli. Yet people fall for the fad diets, they fall for all this stuff that is literally killing them. It's sad and frustrating. So please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.